I want to talk about crypto today. Let's talk about crypto, blockchain, and the likes. I've got three kids, um, and at this age now, like I'm at that age. Okay, I'm at that age where I go out and I watch them play football, watch them play basketball. But if anyone's in the UK, look how horrible it is. It's raining out there. Hope you guys are safe. But I've got three kids, right? And I go out, I see them play football, right? And you can almost see them. You can literally see them, their potential, right? You could see, my daughter plays basketball actually, and then she's good at shooting, okay? But I can tell and I can see that she can just go for that second ball. Sometimes she throws the ball, she misses. I can tell she can actually get the rebound, okay? Same thing with my second daughter, plays tennis, okay? I can tell, I can almost see the potential in there. I can see them go. And I'm that crazy dad. People who know me would know this, right? I'm the crazy dad in the corner, just screaming and screaming and screaming. And I used to laugh at dads to do that. But now I can tell, okay? I can see the potential, especially when you're there, you've done it. You feel, oh my god, if you just pushed a little bit, you could be great. Okay. You hear me? You're not going to make the NBA, but you will be great. Okay. So that reminds me of crypto. That's what it is with me and crypto. That's the love I have with crypto. What's my background? So, I've always worked in banking. I've worked in banking for 20 years, across, again, traditional banking. Okay. So I started, years ago when there was no crypto, there was nothing out there, right? It was actually, I started in Financial Times. The Financial Times, if anyone doesn't know, is like the Wall Street Journal, but it actually has the stock prices. So we used to manually put in the price of the stocks daily, okay? And if it goes, if it's redundant or it goes outdated, we call up fund managers and get the latest prices as well. I did that for several years before I went into front office, the trading, the structuring across, multiple products. So I know what I'm saying in terms of when we saw crypto break into the limelight, okay? And it seemed like that was it. I remember people going, oh my God, this is going to change the world, okay? And it still can, okay? But we need to admit this, right? Most of crypto today is focused and wholly focused on speculation or just scams, okay? And it can do better. I think that's the important thing. Of course, some numbers here, right? So it's not like I'm making it up, okay? So my team come up with this, and they've said this to me, kid you not, derivatives, right? So just making up things like not simple, structured or simple buy sell and equities. Derivative is something that is actually structured on the product. So if you have a stock and then you have a derivative of a stock, that means there's a different security that moves based on the price of that stock. Okay. So derivatives trading, okay, and crypto trading is 75% of that. Okay. Now, even institutional investors that come in, okay, so these are usual State Street, BlackRock, all these guys have a lot of money, okay, mostly pension funds as well. They have a lot of funds to play with. Even those guys, when they go into crypto, it's for trading, it's for speculation. They're not going there because they love it, they just hope they can make more money from it. So that's one quick start to look at, okay? Then let's look at numbers as well, which I got. So 40.9 billion, okay, in 2024, 40.9 billion were just illicit crypto fraud, okay? 40.9 billion, right? Another 2.1 billion were stolen just from exchanges in the first half of 2025. That's huge. That's huge. Bybit, I think, were the latest. So Bybit got theirs, BYBIT, for those who don't know. They're a lovely, great exchange as well. Again, huge, boss into that limelight. I really thought they were going to come up with something there as well. Those guys had, 1.5 billion hack on them as well. So again, the point I'm trying to make here is the fact that it just seems to me that, it's all about crypto. And I've just gone into like actual exchanges, okay? And it becomes more crazy if you go into what celebrities are doing out there today, okay? And do they know better? All of them claim they don't know, but I think they know, okay? If they don't know, then they're stupid and they need to go check themselves, okay? If someone comes in and says, oh, I was duped, but you had to post something to build, you had to go in and build a fan base, you had to deceive your fans to say you're launching a coin or a crypto, and then somebody was stolen from your fans. I don't buy that, right? And then if it's true, then you're stupid enough that you should not be a celebrity. If it's not true, okay, then guess what? You need to educate yourself. Instead of coming out to apologize, say, I'm going to do I'm going to go ahead and take a 6-month course on crypto, okay, and what it's about and the utility of it, okay? So that's it to me. Just the level of hijack, the latest one we know in the news, the latest celebrity was Kanye West. Before that, it was to our girl. So everyone's out there complaining about, being stolen, okay? Oh my goodness, I was duped. But you're creating a crypto or a coin, okay? And we don't know anything about it, or you hope for some reason that, you promise something to the fans that doesn't happen. Our legend, obviously, is, we know, all the let's call it meme coins. So the question now becomes, what is a meme coin? Okay, those guys, in my opinion, they're giving a bad name to crypto as well. No one has a meme currency. Like if you have a meme, if the US dollar came up and said, hey, we're launching a meme US dollar, you would laugh. You think it's the most silly thing. So why is it that, why do people do that on crypto and accept it? Why? So why is it that they'll come in and go, hey, Donald Trump did this as well. Say, hey, I've got a token called Donald Trump. Everyone just says, yeah, it's just a crypto. It's a collectible. Yeah, but it's not, right? It's not a collectible because you know you're buying it, and you're not buying it because you love Donald Trump, right? If you pick any of those guys and say, hey, why did you buy this crypto? They'll tell you nine times out of 10, if they're honest to you, they'll say they hope the price goes up. Okay, if you're hoping the price goes up, then in truth, that's the very definition of a bubble. That's the definition of looking for the next fool, okay? Because you're holding it to sell it. Yeah, you're looking for the next fool. Okay, I could give you, I'll grant you the fact that, you hope is valuable, okay? It's as bad as, wine, okay? So people buy caskets of wine with the hope that it goes up. Okay? And it goes up historically about 10% to 15% on wine caskets. So that's true, okay? You can say that. But not everyone has crypto. Not everyone buys artwork. So artwork is the same, okay? So you go in for artwork, you go in and then you turn around and you buy, what do you call it? You buy Mona Lisa, for instance. You hope the Mona Lisa goes up. And that's the idea. That's always the motive behind it in terms of speculation, okay? And while that's good for wine, while that's good for artwork, should it be good for crypto, right? Is that all crypto can be used for? I don't think so, yeah? And that's my annoyance. And that's what hurts me, okay? I talked about the story there. Like, I just think you can do more, okay? So again, I don't want to go into the lawsuits. There's a lot of lawsuits in terms of celebrities and all the fake coins and everything, which we know yourself, if anyone's going to be honest, that's a significant amount of crypto activity there, that we just always, everyone just seems to focus on launching the next crypto. I'm going to ask a question, which, hey, again, I don't want to go into the numbers, but again, the numbers, the stats are just crazy, okay? We know as well that, the amount of celebrities, just this year that we know about 15 already this year, really celebrities that have been duped into creating this crypto coin that everyone just sort of runs away with it, and then they only end up with a little bit of money. Okay, so I don't want to go into that, but let's talk about why people fall for this. In my opinion, there are two sets of people in crypto, but two major. Okay, the first one is basically people who go in there and hope to make money. Okay, so those guys, I think, will be the same as, and they should be very few. Okay, shouldn't be everyone. It's as bad as FX is as well, where a lot of people go into the market, into the FX market, and they make money. And there are a lot of FX traders as well. So we know about Gary, and Gary Stevenson is one of the top YouTube voices here. Okay, and again, his point is simple. He goes in, he trades FX because he can read the room, he can read the economics, he'll read the various market matrix, and he's able to know or predict where the currency or economy is going to sit at. So he hedges or he goes long or short on those positions. That should not be everyone, though. You see what I mean? So he did that again. He did that not with his money. He did that with the bank's money. Okay, no matter how much he claims, he did that with the bank's money. And of every trader that's out there that are seasoned traders for the bank with the bank's money, a lot of people lose. And I say this again, I'm the CEO of a fintech app, and I've done this a lot, right? For the last few years, I can tell you the amount of people. I was a UBS when a guy called Kweku from Ghana lost, I think, about 2 billion to UBS. I was in UBS when that happened, and we had to try and create a product created a vehicle where the loss from one entity doesn't affect the other entity. So trying to put those silos in there. But I can tell you now that traders lose money. Okay, these are seasoned traders. So when people go ahead and say, "Oh, you're now an FX trader," and they tell you that they have a strategy to win, unless those guys are the CEOs or they have their own fintech app that you've got loads of people on, they don't buy any of those things. It's not true. Now, what's still with crypto? What's still someone who says, "Hey, I've got a strategy, or we bought, I can do this or that." In truth, those guys don't make money other than getting inside information, right? And then when there's inside information, guess who's the outsider? It's always you, not someone who doesn't know, unless you created those tokens. So it's a long way of saying that, guys, this is all fraud, especially when it comes to those coins, those meme coins that people want to make money from. Don't trust it, and be careful. So there's a first set of people who want to make money from this. Okay, people want to make money from this, and they try at all costs. If they can't find someone to buy the coin, fake coin or the meme coin, what they do then is they go ahead and look for who that they can just, again, siphon or steal money from, scam. Okay, now the second set of people who I'm addressing here, and those are people who actually want to, let's call it, see crypto do well. Okay, and that's it, and that's what I think this video is about. So the question is, do people who want to do well in crypto, can they do more? Okay, and I think they can. Okay. And this brings me to my point then in terms of what can crypto do to do better? Okay, what can we do? How can we make it more useful? I think that's a line. We need to make it more useful other than speculation, right? When you go into your bank account and you leave $10,000 in there, okay? You're not leaving $10,000 with the hope that it goes up in value. Okay. You're leaving $10,000 because you hope that in the future you invest that money and you hope it gets you more money. Okay. It gets you more money, gets you more returns in the future. Okay. So if you go in, you got $10,000, you put it into a money market fund, into an FX treasury, into something, okay, and it gives you more money. That's if you wanted to. If you didn't want to, okay, you could decide to leave the money in there. Okay, just leave it there and you use it in the future. Okay, you don't have to put in an investment. So especially if your bank already pays you 2%, 3%, a lot of crypto exchanges today, they'll pay you up to, 3 4% APY on stable coins. So that would mean that we have people that if you hold those money, hold the crypto, you can use it in the future. It becomes what's called a utility. In my opinion, right, people who want to see crypto do well should try and hold the money, not for the price to fluctuate or go up, okay, but more for the price that they can use it in the future. If you remember what crypto was all about, that was the whole point. When we got into credit, remember going to banking, I mean, I was one of those who just thought it was a joke. I was like, hey, crypto is fake, it's rubbish. No one knows Satoshi. Satoshi could actually be the bank themselves, could be, could be Rothschild or Illuminati. We don't know. Till now, we don't. I tell you that. No one knows who Satoshi is, right? I can tell you, whoever the person is or people, they're powerful. So it's most likely people who are trying to avoid. However, if you want to avoid the system, then avoid the system, right? So what I mean is, if you've got 10,000 in crypto that you want to use, then you should leave it in crypto. And we're working with Visa, we're working with MasterCard, we're working with a lot of banks there to see how we can use our rings, okay, so that it goes into crypto. So you use it, okay? And we'll see how that goes over the next few months. But that to me, I think is the future, right? In the sense that, and that's how MasterCard started. I'll tell you, because again, we work closely with MasterCard. MasterCard started that way. AMEX started that way. They're still that way. So if you go in and you have an AMEX card, okay, you're not going to go into any vendor or any, coffee machine or mom and pop shop or pizza store and they accept that card. Especially if you travel out. If you're out in, I don't know, in anywhere in Africa, in Europe, right? Europe especially, you have a 60% likelihood of that card being accepted. 40% of that time they'll be rejected because they don't accept it. They don't know about that card. That should be the same with crypto. Okay, so that to me is the insight, and I'll continue to bang on about this. Again, go through my video. I'm going to bang on about this, and I'm going to keep talking to banks until this changes. Crypto should be used the way AMEX is, which is we have a vendor of people. Those vendors accept stable coins, and those stable coins become the nodes, okay, that validates it, so that you have your own system, so that crypto becomes a medium, a way of payment. And that's the only way, because again, if crypto can be used for payment, as well as AMEX are doing today, was MasterCard are doing today, and then there's some stability because we have stable coins today. Okay, if you use that and use the stable coins, okay, and stable coins again is available 247, which is already better than the dollar. It's better than which is the strongest currency. It's better than most currencies there because it's got that availability, that immutability. Okay, so we know there's a finite amount if you have to trust what Satoshi says. But the point I'm trying to make there is, please, guys, let's hope, let's continue to support people like us, people like, again, there are a lot of companies pushing this, right? Where they want to use payment or crypto as a form of payment, not about speculation, not about raising the next meme coin and hoping that it goes up in value. Because if it goes up in value, then it's a zero-sum game, then someone else is going to buy it. And then at some point it crashes down. Okay. And you might think it's not affecting, but it does. Okay. Because I can tell you BlackRock are already in it. So a lot of banks are already in it. So you might think you're buying, again, when FTX went down, we saw a lot of investors, top investors, even top private equities, top VC firms that you would think are smart enough that will not get into this, they were caught in this, right? So if you think you're having a good deal by actually taking up the price, you'll be surprised that your mortgage provider actually was who bought the loan from you, and then somehow the whole thing falls like a card of a bunch of cards. Cut that part, by the way, guys. But yeah, no, you don't want the whole thing to fall apart because again, it impacts you. Okay, you can't be rich. You can't be the richest person in the village. At some point, those guys who are poor will come on you, or the infrastructure is going to go down. Okay, at some point. So the point I'm trying to make, please, guys, let's hope crypto becomes much more about utility and less so about scamming and less so about trying to make the best or sell it to the greatest fool beside you. Greater fool. Well, thanks, guys. Have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. See you in the next one. I have to get back to work now.